Starting off, to get a full view of your journey, could you walk me through a quick timeline, just in your own words? What were your interests and passions in high school? What did you study and why? What was your first ever job, even if it wasn't a serious job? How did your career path unfold from there to where you are today? And finally, what are you doing now?
In school, I was interested in graphic design and computer science and sports. The career counselor in school told me to study electric engineering, and that was my first degree that I started. I only did 1 year because that was not what I wanted to do. It wasn't too much in the creative field for me. So I went to the army after that, and my first job, I actually used everything that was part of my passion. So I did programming, I did it was electronic, and it was creative because I had to use critical thinking and problem solving, and I worked with people, and yeah, that was very nice for me. But during that period, I wanted to study further, but I was told that I had such a good job that why would I want to study any further? After that, I went to different jobs, worked for medium-sized companies, until the point where I thought to myself, I can work for myself. I had the confidence, I had the willpower, and I thought there was no barriers and no failures that stopped me. So I started my first company, and it went very well. And from there on, it was one company after another, not focusing on building one company. But today, I am the result of all the companies that I built, all the jobs that I've worked on, and all the courses I've studied. So today, I am a consultant, and I'm all in the field of medical technology, business building, business development, and yes, I'm very happy.
Then versus now, self reflection. If you think back to your early 20s, how did you feel about the future back then? Were you confident, clueless, scared, or even excited?
Well, I was very confident. I think the reason is I've never had any failures at that time, and I thought that this is how you should feel when you start your adulting life. Study, work, do everything you can do. So yes, I was very confident.
And now, looking back, what mindset or belief helped you grow from that version of you into the person you are today?
The confidence that I had was a bit of misguided because I didn't have a lot of world experience, but it served me very well. But looking back, I would be more cautious. I would listen to advice, um, not thinking that I know everything. I would set up my mentors or get mentors earlier in my life, and I will also use my own intuition for personal growth and to study more. I will definitely do that.
Mentorship time, do overs, and real advice. What's something you wish you emotionally or mentally knew in your early 20s? Like a mindset reminder you'd give your younger self.
I think that when you're young, you always feel like you're an imposter. You don't know if you're good enough, and you think that other people think that of you. So the reminder would be believe in yourself, do the best that you can do, and in doing that, other people will start believing in you, and it will help you with your personal growth. So I would tell myself to just believe in yourself, take advice, and use that as personal growth.
If you could go back and do one thing differently in your career or business journey, what would it be?
I would most definitely further my studies as early as possible, finish my degree, or even if I studied something different, get a diploma in something I like and love doing, and that I prepare to do it for the rest of my life.
And what's something you'd 100% do the same way again?
Something that I would do the same is I would also, I believed in other people, and I never doubted people in them helping me, furthering my career. I looked up to people and I took their advice, and from an early age, I identified mentors, and I took everything from them that I think that will help me in my future, and I will do that 100% again.
Let's say someone just graduated and they are sitting on their bed, totally stuck and unsure where to start. List 3 things you would tell them to do this week to get moving, even just a little bit.
I would definitely tell them to first take a deep breath, then write down your CV by hand. Don't type it out, write it out by hand. See what you have and what is really important in that CV. Maybe you did some courses or volunteering, write all of that down. Then I will list it on LinkedIn. Also, I will get my LinkedIn profile up and running, because that shows that you serious about your career and that you want to get a job. Then you can, from LinkedIn, you can print out a professional CV that you can obviously email and send to people if you need to do that. Secondly, I would start with personal growth. I would look at myself, my beliefs, what I want to do, how much confidence do I have, what must I do to better that. And the third thing I will do is I would start with soft skills. See what free courses you can do. There's a lot on the internet. Get yourself AI proficient. Start doing administrative type of work so that you can understand that. And then make a list of places you can work as an intern or as a or volunteer even, to get that experience that you don't have on your CV.
Tools, resources, and real talk. I'm building a resource library for the viewers to use. Can you name 2 or 3 specific tools, books, websites, or free resources that really helped you or would have helped when you were just starting out?
Well, yes. When we started out, there was no such thing as the internet. We had a landline telephone, and you have to phone around to people. On the yellow pages, it was terrible if you look back at it. If I had the tools that are available today, like the internet, LinkedIn, if you want to start a career, is that your first point of starting your adulting, you can definitely go to LinkedIn, like I said earlier. Start your network, start connecting to people. Secondly, I would, like I said earlier, I would take a AI proficiency course so that I can get proficient in AI, not using it as a hobby or as a side, resource. Really understand how it works and how it could further your career. You can use platforms like NotebookLM from Google that can help you with research and also help you as a digital mind, or a Neuralink that you can build up, that will help you a lot. If you want to look at maybe start your own business or get a personal brand on the internet, you can do a digital course like James Wedmore's Digital CEO, webinars, excellent webinars of about 9 hours for free. It will teach you a lot. You can also look at Caleb Ralston. He will help you on his free videos, up to 6 hours of how to build your personal brand, how to do storytelling, and how to get involved with people. And yeah, and then obviously there's a lot of other network platforms that you can use to just get to know other people and, what we say, have a coffee. Anybody that you talk to can help you and further your career.
Let's say I took away your whole network and your bank account. You're starting from scratch today. What would be your first 3 moves this month to rebuild your life, career, or business? Think practical. Things you'd Google, website you'd visit, free things you'd sign up for.
Okay, we come back to building that network, because if you lose your network, then you've got no connection. There's no people to do business with. So I will sit down, look at myself, see what is my best skill I have, and I will start doing connections in those fields. Start talking to people, start looking to where I can help people. It's always, if you help people, they always feel obliged to help you. So if you have got no money, they will help you to get connections and start using your skills to do some work. And from there you can obviously make some money, and you can use that money again to further build your network by paid methods and paid channels. And yes, I would obviously start talking to people. Yes, and obviously at this stage I've got a lot of skill in how to convert value into money. So I would obviously apply those skills again.
Rapid fire questions. What's a failure that made you laugh later in life?
In my first year working for this company, they asked me to do a presentation. I was a Afrikaans boertjie from Rustenburg, and suddenly I had to do a presentation for a big medical company at Sun City. And I thought, well, it's going to be 2 or 3 people walking in there and going to tell them about this awesome robotic machine. As we walked into this room, there were about 150 doctors sitting there, doctors with more degrees than I can count. And I had to tell them about this new technological robotic system. And I was so scared. I started giving the presentation and fumbled over my words, and I was all over the place, and I thought this is going to be such a disaster, I'm going to get fired after this. Well, luckily for me, it worked out differently. Now today, looking back at that moment, and remembered that we got about R500,000 worth of sales out of that presentation, still make me laugh, because now you can see that even if you don't do something properly, there could still be a very, very good outcome.
Coffee or tea when planning your empire?
Well, obviously coffee.
What's your hustle anthem, the song that gets you into gear?
Well, that's John Farnham's You're the Voice.
Real world readiness and lessons. We all have this idea of what work or entrepreneurship will be like. What was your expectation, and how different was reality once you were in it?
Yes, although I was very confident, I was obviously totally clueless about entrepreneurship. I thought that you just start a business and you sell things and you make money. But once we started, and you start seeing all the different facets of entrepreneurship. You have to have your accounting perfect. You have to have your HR ready. You have to adhere to about 12 different laws the label or the Consumer Protection Act and safety, and there's a lot of things you have to do. You have to have your taxes ready, 3-4 different taxes that you have to submit every month. And yeah, it was quite an awakening when I started getting into the nitty-gritty of entrepreneurship.
Was there ever a moment you felt totally unprepared? Like presenting yourself, public speaking, writing a CV, even using English professionally. How did you handle that?
Well, going back to the presentation story earlier, after that I recognized that I was confident but also clueless, because there's different situations you will get into life and you will be unprepared. So I started to throw myself into the deep end of situations, and I have to handle it. And that's how I build tools by learning to swim as I go through the river. Yes, and then obviously later I never had a CV because I started working early, and then I started my own companies. And when we had to start getting funding rounds for a specific venture we had, they asked me for a CV. I didn't have a CV, and I felt so stupid because after 20 years I never had a CV, and I had to sit down and build my CV. It was a novel. So one thing I also learned there was to understand how a CV works, and a CV for every situation. So a CV for getting funding, a CV for applying for a job, a CV to get founding partners to start a business with. They all look different, and only put the essentials in, take out the fluff. That's my advice.
What's one underrated skill you wish you started working on earlier?
To understand what networking is all about, the networking skill. It is not just talking to people, it's not just getting your name out there. Networking is to understand who you're talking to, in what context you connecting with this person, and how to nurture that connection going forward. So I would say nurturing networking connections to further my value and to get the most value out of them will be a skill that I will definitely start early in my life.
CVs, networking, and building value. A lot of people feel awkward about networking. So, can you give a real example of how you started? Like a place you went, someone you messaged, or a platform you used?
Yeah, like I said, in our time when we started, it was seminars, it was congresses, it was industry-related gatherings and courses that you did, and that's how you met people. And again, like I said earlier, at that stage you didn't understand that it was networking. You just thought to know people and also know them socially, and it makes it easier later to phone somebody up and ask them about something. Today, the way you should do it is you should consciously, I would say, target people, target a certain industry, target a certain type of person, somebody that can be a mentor, somebody that is better connected than yourself, and then obviously use their connections to further your network structure. But be conscious not to get a vanity list of network connections. It must be real connections that will add value to the whole networking system. So go to the industry that you're in, the career path you want to follow, and make sure you actively pursue that network.
What's one thing that actually makes a CV stand out in your field? And what do most people forget to add that matters?
In my field, it is trust and worthiness. So people will look at a CV and they will want to see who you worked with, again, who you are connected to, what is your previous success. So they will look back and say, what type of work did you do, where did you consult, and what was the outcome of that? What was the value and the perceived value that those people that you realized with that specific project? So one thing that I will definitely put into my CV is positive outcomes, selling a company, exiting a funding round, something that they can understand and realize what the value of that is.
What advice do you have for someone who wants to build a career or brand but has no experience yet?
First thing you can do is to volunteer, because then nobody needs to pay you and it will be easy to get a volunteer job. Identify a company or a person that works in the industry that you are looking to build a career path in. Approach them, tell them about your aspirations, and ask them if they can help you. You can shadow them, you can help them during the day and understand what the work is and the job is all about. Do that for a few months. Obviously, you need to get paid at some stage. See if you can get an internship, telling the people you approach that you've done this shadowing and this volunteer work. Internship, make sure that you do it in the industry and the path that you want to take. Give everything. Learn as much as possible, ask as many questions as possible. See if you can maybe in that same company get a better job, a better pay if possible. Otherwise you will start looking for another company. Yes, and the first few years to build your experience will take a lot of effort and not necessarily a big paying job or a high paying job.
We always hear about soft skills and personal branding, but what did that actually look like for you in real life? For example, did you practice how to speak clearly in your interviews, dress a certain way for your first impression, or follow up with people on LinkedIn? What were the small actions you took that helped you build credibility, stand out, or just show people that you're someone worth noticing?
Well, branding or personal brand or what people think about you, or that's what it is. It's not something that you can necessarily build. What people think about you is who you are. So you have to take action. Telling people who you are don't necessarily build trust and credibility. Taking action and things that you do will make them notice you. So always do good on your promises. Always pitch up if somebody asks you to do something. Always complete a task. Always show people that you respect them and you respect their time and work. If you go for an interview, be early. Be 5 minutes early, that is being on time. Be prepared when you show up, and people will start understanding they will understand who you are, and you will build credibility, trustworthiness, work ethic, and I think that is a way people will start noticing you. They will give you bigger jobs, and as you pitch up every time and you're reliable, I think in that way you will definitely build credibility.
The legacy question. If someone only remembers one thing you said today, what do you hope it is?
I would say it's definitely personal growth. And when I say personal growth, I mean consciously pursuing personal growth, doing self-reflection. Do it in such a way that you ask questions. Answer the questions until you get a breakthrough, until it makes sense to you, until you actually wake up, the penny drop, and you understand that the barriers and the no's and the buts that you have in your life all has an answer, and every one of them can be taught or you can learn it somewhere. But that breakthrough should also translate into transformation. So personal growth is reflection, breakthrough, transformation. And you have to do that every day. It must be concentrate every day on one thing, even if it's small or it's big, a fear that you have, and because it's all fear. It's fear driven, and you have to get through that, and that will make a massive, massive difference in how you pursue life, how you pursue career, and your personal relationships.
What does success mean to you now versus when you started?
When I started, there was no doubt climbing the corporate ladder or the career ladder. I was not ruthless, but I was, we did step on people and didn't take other people in consideration. Driving the German sedan, trying to buy my first house before I was 25 or 26. I thought that when I had all of that, that would mean that I've succeeded. Later in life, you understand that personal relationships, trustworthiness, integrity, and having a family, and your people working for you are happy, and they've got a good family life. That's more success to me today, is having a good life and enjoying what I'm doing.
Beautiful. Thank you. Let's cheers on that.